Hi there, I am here in the Arlington Park neighborhood of Sarasota today, and yes, this living in Lakewood ranch girl is getting ready to close on a brand new construction here in Sarasota. For me, coming to Sarasota from Lakewood Ranch is just a quick drive down Fruitville Road, so not an obstacle there for me. And this house came on the market a year ago for new construction, and it spoke to me. And although I had just built a house and closed on it just over a year ago, here we go again. So I wanted to let you know where I am in the process. We haven't closed yet, and what my steps are to closing. So if this is something of interest to you, please stick around for all of the details. Hi, I'm JJ Williams from Michael Saunders and Company, and on this channel, Living in Lakewood Ranch, we cover all things Lakewood Ranch and the surrounding areas. And today I am here in the Arlington Park neighborhood of Sarasota. Arlington Park is on what we call the east side of the trail. So the trail is State Road 41 or Tamiami Trail. So I'm on the east side, and some of the major cross streets are Waldemere, where Sarasota Memorial Hospital is, Waldemere. So that's where I am at today. So this house behind me is actually a brand new house that has been constructed. I went to contract on this house last October, so just about a year ago. And it was a little bit unexpected. As many of you know, I had bought a house and built a house in Lakewood Ranch in the Waterside District and closed about a year and a half ago. It was a fantastic experience, but you know, life changes, my circumstances change, and that house started to be a little bit too small for my needs. Now I am keeping that house, very fortunate to be able to do that, because eventually I think that will be my next step when I'm ready to downsize once again. So what I'd like to do is walk you through this new construction process in 4 phases. So today, we're not closed yet. I wanted to give you a little bit of a backstory about how I got to where I am, tell you a little bit about this builder and how this builder differs from other builders. All builders are a little bit different, so just kind of give you the ins and outs of how builders are different from each other, and let you know what my checklist is to closing, where I am now. Then I want to do this in 4 phases. So the second phase will be our new construction pre-closing home inspection. So I hired a home inspector, which is not that common, but I'll talk to you about that in the next video about why I chose to do that. It was nothing bad, just personal needs. And then phase 3 is the builder walkthrough. That is a fun event. I'm excited to be able to share that with you. And then finally, phase 4 would be closing day. So that would be the happy music day. I'm already singing the happy music, by the way, because I am in love with this house. I love the floor plan. I love everything about it. We're scheduled to close in just a few weeks. And this house is 2847 square feet. Like I said, we went to contract last October. The projected closing date, completion date at that time was August, and but now we have pushed it to September, so a little bit further than originally expected. And so that is actually a very important point number 1 I wanted to talk to you about with new construction contracts. So when you go to contract for a new build, they will give you their proposed closing date. We all hear about it going past that closing date, but also very common, you may not know, is that the house can get built and be completed sooner. And your responsibility as a buyer is to be ready, because when the house is done, you close, whether or not your contract says that the house is completed. Now, of course, this is not all written in stone. You know, this is just kind of a broad stroke rule, but you do need to be ready to close when the builder is finished building the house. Okay, so I wanted to talk to you first about this neighborhood, Arlington Park. It's very unique, different from what we're used to in Lakewood Ranch, very eclectic, older neighborhood. There was a cottage here that was torn down, and this large home was put in its place, which is common in this area because the value of this location large houses are the only thing that are being built in place of the smaller houses. Here are a couple of stats for the neighborhood. So right now in MLS, so this is just specifically for Arlington Park neighborhood, there are 3 houses on the market, ranging in price from $2,200,000 to $2,211,000. We have had 2 pending sales recently, ranging in price from $475,000 to $2,250,000. And the recently solds, there are 12, ranging in price from $400,000 to $1,721,000. So talk about a broad stroke of things. Also, I wanted to add the years built on these homes. Okay, so of all of these 17 houses between the active, pending, and sold, year built 1920 to under construction, expected completion date in 2024. Also, this is also very fun, square footage. So the houses on this list range in square feet from 780 square feet to 3,434 square feet. The house that sold for 780 square feet, is that going to be a tear down? Who knows, right? In this older area of Sarasota, there is no HOA in here. And so that, of course, can be a plus or minus. Very eclectic. I think eclectic is the word of the day for this neighborhood. One of the things that I loved about this house and which made me choose it is that since it's an older lot, an older community, we have very large trees. So there are 3 large oak trees on this property. The house is a 2-story house, and the trees are taller than the house, which I love. I also wanted to let you know that this build, it has not been a perfect experience, and it's a good reminder that it happens to everybody, and also it's something that we feel is new. It's a new experience, but I am an old movie buff, and there's an old movie called Mr. Blanding's Dream House, and I want to say it was probably filmed in the 1950s, and their experience was a disaster.
Tear it down.
Tear it down?
If your sills was shot and your timbers was okay, I'd say go ahead, fix her up. If your timbers was shot and your sills was okay, again, I'd say go ahead and fix her up. But your sills are shot and your timbers are shot.
And so this is not new. New construction has a lot of moving parts. Things happen. And what happened to me is very minor. But in this county, Sarasota County, they require the builder to add a tree. I don't know what their formula is, but in this case, they had to add a tree. So the builder brought in a new oak tree and put it in the yard. And they put it right in the, I'm gonna have to move my camera. I want to show you this. They put it right in the middle of the grass, right? So there's our baby oak tree. And so the existing trees that we have are lined up beautifully on the perimeter of the property. And now this baby oak tree is just plopped down right in the middle of the yard. And so I asked the builder to move it. And he said yes, and he moved it right back to the middle of the yard. So this is a conversation we will be having. So it's not a perfect formula. So here are the steps that I am at right now for getting ready for closing. In addition to scheduling the signing for the closing with the title company, we did that recently. After we actually close, there's a few things to the house that I want to do before I move in. One of them is to have the grout sealed. I don't know of any builder, quite honestly, that seals the grout, but I have seen how fast the grout can get stained just from normal everyday, just water and walking, and add to that if you have dogs or kids. So having someone come and seal the grout in advance when everything is brand new is a nice plus. I also am going to have him evaluate the driveway. The driveway is concrete. Not sure if that can be sealed, but if it can, I want that sealed too, just keep it pristine. That's one big thing I want to do. The other big thing I want to do is I had the closets custom built out in my last house, and I loved it. It is an expensive upgrade, but when you think about the price of the house, it adds so much value and so much day-to-day quality of life. That's a 2-day build. So we are going to have the closet builders come out for 2 days, build these closets out. Some of them are big walk-ins. I'm having drawers built in. I'm having the pantry built out. So I'm going to do those steps before closing. Let me see, I just want to make myself some notes to see if I forgot anything else that I was up to recently. Had my mail forwarded. And so a couple of the things that the builder doesn't include that I'm planning to do, but I'll do this after I move in, is have the ceiling fans hung. Almost no builders do the ceiling fans. And also I'm going to have a backsplash built in. That was not an option we were allowed to pick, so I'm going to do that after close. And also, since we're not in an HOA, so we don't have any parking regulations here, on the side of the driveway there's a nice space for overflow parking. So I'm going to have that, I'm going to have someone come in with crushed shells, which is a popular driveway option here in this area, to have the side of the driveway with a overflow parking with a crushed shell driveway. So I'm going to do that. So anyway, this was a little bit longer than I thought it was going to be. I hope you found it informative. Looking forward to the next 3 phases: the pre-construction builder home inspection, the construction builder walkthrough, and then closing day. So thanks for joining me today, and talk to you soon. Have a good day.
Mr. Simpson said,
Tear it down.
on the other hand, Mr. Murphy said,
Tear it down.
Everything about it. So we are scheduled to close September. You know what, I'm going to scratch that mark, sorry.